Well, folks, here we are with another Friday fishing forecast, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend. The winds are going to be up first thing on Saturday, but they're supposed to drop down as the day progresses by about 1 o'clock. I know in the bay itself, the winds are supposed to lay down quite a bit. It's going to be, for me, it's going to be a little bit too bumpy to head offshore tomorrow, so we're going to go on Sunday. It's calling for 2.6 to 2.4 in the morning, and it's coming out of the west. So I hate to go directly into it. It is supposed to lay down and get into the 1 foot range, 1.3, 1.4. So if you're willing to take a beating going out, and then it will be a nice ride back in, you can definitely get out, especially in a bigger boat. I know the hogfish bite has been really good offshore from what I'm being told. The sheep's head bite has been really good. The trout bite I heard is unbelievable inshore. The snook, redfish. Snook have been a little bit lethargic because the water temperature is down to about 64. So they've been a little bit lethargic, but as it warms up, they get a little bit more spunky and they start chasing baits. But some of the fish that we have here at the dock have literally laid on the bottom and just sucked in the dead shrimp. So they are lethargic, the snook are, but as it warms up, they get more spunky and they're more willing to eat in the afternoons. Like I said, there's a lot going on. Water temperature 64. We've got a front coming in right now. I actually went out and caught bait for the shop, so I got pinfish and whitebait. We've got fiddler crabs. We've got shrimp. We've got pinfish, whitebait. We've got I think that's all we have for live bait. And we got all the frozen bait you need. Again, like I said, the sheep's head bite has been really good. We're selling a lot of fiddler crabs. So if you're looking for fiddler crabs, we definitely have them. Let's go ahead and get into the tides and salooners for this weekend. On Saturday, we have a low tide at 12:15 p.m. at a negative 0.2. Then we have a high tide at 7:25 p.m. at a 1.4 foot. On Sunday, we have a high tide at 5:29 p.m. at a 1.7 foot, or 5:29 a.m. at a 1.7 foot. And then we have a low tide at 1:03 p.m. at a 0.1 foot. Then we have another high tide at 7:53 p.m. at a 1.5 foot. For the salooners, we have a major feeding time from 4:33 a.m. to 6:33 a.m. Then we have a minor feeding time from 11:47 a.m. to 12:47 p.m. Then we have a major from 5:05 p.m. to 7:05 p.m. On Sunday, we have a major feeding time from 5:21 a.m. to 7:21 a.m. Then we have a minor feeding time from 12:20 p.m. to 1:20 p.m. Then we have another major from 5:52 p.m. to 7:52 p.m. So as you can see on the salooners on Saturday evening, we have that major feeding time coinciding with the sunset. So again, when it coincides with those sunset or sunrises, the barometric pressure is dropping and the fish will put on the feed bag, especially when there's a minor or major involved in that. So keep that in mind. Again, Saturday's going to start off a little cool, little breezy, but it's supposed to die down in the afternoon and then kind of calm down, especially inland. And then offshore, same thing, but it's going to be pretty bumpy going out in the first thing in the morning. But it is supposed to lay down. Sunday looks absolutely beautiful. Mid to low 70s, light winds. We're going to head offshore. So it looks like the weather's going to be really good. The weather's going to be good the first part of this week until about Thursday. And then we got another front coming through. And then it's supposed to get warm again. So I think we're going to have our 7-day fronts coming in, which is fine. The fish get acclimated unless it's drops really, really cold and then it gets hot and then cold. They don't adjust to it very well, very quickly. But when it gets like this, where it's kind of consistent, those fish will adjust to it. As I told some guys that were in here not too long ago, if you concentrate on fishing in the afternoons, especially a couple of days after a cold front, when it's warming up, that's when the fish are going to feed really, really well, especially these inshore fish. I used to bank on those warmer days coming off those fronts, and I would book trips, and we would absolutely kill it inshore, snook, redfish, and trout. And wintertime was one of my favorite times to fish because me personally, I love those negative low tides. And we're just coming off some major negatives that we had this last week. But I really like those negative low tides because if you can get into areas where those fish are stacked up, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. So again, I like those negative low tides, and I know a lot of guys that like those incoming tides. But me personally, I like the outgoing tide, especially if it's a negative. I think that's about it. Oh, by the way, O'Brien's Fishing Club is having their meeting this Friday or this Wednesday, 7 p.m. at O'Brien's Irish Pub in Brandon. So if you're interested in joining a new fishing club, they've got a great club up there. Finn's Fishing Club just had their meeting last Tuesday. We had a great toy drive for Christmas for deserving kids. So that was really nice to see. A lot of people participated. It was cold that day, or that evening, but it was still a good time. Again, I just want to say thank you to everybody out there for all the support. We still have the rest of today left for the Black Friday sale. It ends at 12 midnight tonight. 20% off at any order online. It's going to be a little bit, by the time this airs, the shop's going to be closed. But online, 20% off until 12 p.m. tonight. We had a week long of the Black Friday sale, 20% off. We still have yet to pick the winner for the soft side cooler, which I'm going to do this weekend, I promise, for our year anniversary. We just celebrated a year with the bait shop. So things are starting to come back a little bit to normal. We're getting there, but we have plenty of bait in stock. So come by and see us. Fish more, catch more, and we'll see you on the flip side.